All right, let's begin this lesson by re-executing our import code to bring our two CSVs back into our default position. And in this lesson, we'll discuss extracting values from a series based on the index position. And in both of our current series, Pokemon and Google, we have the default numeric pandas index, which starts at 0 and proceeds upwards. So the way that you can extract from a series is kind of similar to the way that you would do it from a Python list. So we begin with our series, which is Pokemon, and now instead of using a dot to call a method, we actually just use bracket notation. We place it directly after the name of the series. And inside the brackets, we can give things like a single index position. So for example, if we wanted to extract the Pokemon at the index position 500, we could just enter 500, and it's going to return the Pokemon value at that index position of 500, which is the string Oshawott. Similarly, if I want to do something like 199, we're going to get Misdreavus. If I wanted Ivysaur, which exists at index position 1, I could just enter 1. And there we get the corresponding series value. If we wanted to extract more than one, what we can do is bundle them in a list. So I'm going to write Pokemon. I'm going to write the square brackets to extract. And then within these square brackets, I want to create another pair of square brackets that's going to designate my Python list. And let's say I want the Pokemon at 100, 200, and 300 as my 3 index positions. This is going to give us, instead of just a string, it's going to give us a brand new series that's going to represent those 3 index positions extracted. You can see 100, 200, and 300 to the left here. So this is actually returning to us a brand new 3-item series, while a single item extraction is returning a string, which is just the value at that position. We can also use the exact same syntax that we use for sequential values. So for example, if we wanted to extract the Pokemon between index positions 50 and 100, we can do that colon in the middle, and that's going to give us the rows with an index position starting at 50 and proceeding all the way down to 100. There we go. And as we can actually see, we typed in 100, but it went up to 99, which indicates that the second value here is exclusive. It goes up to that point, but does not include it. So if we actually want 50 to 100, we have to write 50 to 101, and that'll include the value at an index position of 100. We can also do things like this. We can put a single colon and then the number. That's going to extract everything from the beginning of the series to index position 50, and 50 again is not going to be included because it's only going to go up to that point, so it's only going to go up to 49. We can also do syntax from the end. That's going to be Pokemon, square brackets. Let's say we want to do -30 colon. That means start 30 from the end and proceed to the end. Kind of the same thing as doing tail 30. But here you can see we've extracted it by the index position. And then of course we can also do things like extract from the end by taking from the last, from starting from the index position 30 from the end and proceeding to the index position 10 from the end. That's going to operate in the exact same way as it would on a Python list. So you can see the syntax is basically identical. You can put in a single value, you can give it a list of values, you can use the colon to indicate sequential ones, you can separate them in a list, you can start from the beginning and proceed to a certain point, you could start a little bit before the end and proceed towards the end, you can use negative values which start from the end of the data set. So all of the things that you can typically do on a list, you can do on a Panda series in order to extract values by their index position. And in the next lesson, we'll talk about extracting series values by the index label rather than by the position.